Hey everybody, welcome back to 𝘍𝘪𝘭𝑚onger. I'm your guy, 𝘪𝘪𝘭𝑚onger, and today, fulfilling your movie hunger, we're going to be talking more about maybe not having Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man No Way Home. And all these details are coming from a recent article with an interview with Tom Holland. So, hopefully it's all a farce, not true, but we'll do our due justice as internet sleuths and break that down for you today in this video. Before we get started, we always like to start with a little bit of trivia, and today is a maybe easy question, at least something that I've been privy. I actually knew this one, which is not always the case, but what villain does Ned become in the Spider-Man comic history? Let me know if you know that in the comments below. There's a lot of rumors that this might actually happen in Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm a little skeptical of that, but it is interesting, and without further ado, let's get started. I just did a video breaking the hearts of everyone on the internet that maybe the Spider-Man trio is not actually happening. I showed you a bunch of clips and quotes from Andrew Garfield saying, yeah, no, I'm not in it. Fans are gonna be disappointed that I'm not in it. And, I won't lie, I'm ignoring that. Because I'm like, haha, you shan't fool me, Andrew Garfield. You're just being coy. And then this interview with Tom Holland came out. It's actually a really great interview. And during this video, we're going to tell you about what he said about the Spider-Man trio, but also going to talk about the things he's revealed that this movie is going to be about. And it's some pretty crazy stuff. You're going to want to stay tuned for just that. So Tom Holland comes out, and he's talking about his time on set with the likes of Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina and other professionals like Willem Dafoe, saying that they were top tier actors. I mean, there's literally 3 decades of Spider-Man history in this film, and to see the iterations all culminate and mesh and collaborate together synergetically was amazing for Tom Holland, especially only being 25. This is his 6th reprisal of the role of Peter Parker. He's played Spider-Man more than anyone else at this point in time, but to have all that history and nostalgia packed into one set was something really unique for the young budding star. At the same time, people felt that he was revealing, oh, the way you said that makes it sound like there might be other people you gleaned from that maybe are in this movie. And Tom Holland's like, oh, and this is his exact quote. He says, wait a second. Was that a minor slip for multiple Spider-Man? Holland shuts down this line of questioning, saying, people don't believe me when I say that they're not coming back. They being Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. What? It's so bad! He said, people don't believe me when I say that they're not coming back, but people are going to have to believe me at some point, he laughs. The first time you see Doc and the rest of the characters that come back is so exciting. It's such a huge moment in cinematic history. It's 3 generations coming together. But at the end of the day, people will believe what they want to believe. And that's something that I kind of highlighted in the last video. We have ran with this narrative. We have made ourselves completely buy in that this is the truth and that they're just stringing us along all this way. I mean, to the point where we're like talking about the frames and, well, Lizard got punched. I know Lizard got punched, okay? If you're sitting there, you go in the comments and go, boo, and you say, Trevor, I saw Lizard get punched. It must be Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I've seen it all, okay? We have made so many videos on this stuff. I know what leaks you've seen. I've seen the costumes. I've seen Lizard get punched. I have turned every stone. This is my job. This is what I do. But at some point, we have to look in the mirror and say, maybe it's us, guys. Maybe we're the reason we think this, because now I have Andrew Garfield changing his tone and saying, yeah, it's not happening, and fans are gonna be disappointed one way or the other. And then you have in this article Tom Holland, spoiler king, saying, yeah, no, it doesn't feel like it matters much of what I say at this point. Fans are gonna believe what they want to believe. And we have to ask ourselves, have we just fooled ourselves to thinking that this is true? We might just done that, guys. We might have just done that. All that being said, there's still some really cool things to be taken away from this disappointing news narrative. Is that Tom Holland's like, guess what? The movie's still freaking awesome. And they're trying to get our expectations to a reasonable point, guys. They're like, listen, if you come into this movie expecting what we've put out, it's gonna be good. If you sit through the whole movie waiting for these Spider-Man to show up, you're gonna be disappointed. It might ruin the film experience for you. And do you want that? Do you? Do you? I don't. So right now, I'm trying to reduce that deep desire for that to happen. But I won't lie, it's still there in the back of my mind. But that's what Tom Holland said, Andrew Garfield said. I don't know if Tobey Maguire has said anything, but so far it's been crickets. Now I know, like I said, I know all the videos. I've seen them.
You're not Peter Parker.
I am so confused right now.
On top of that, Tom Holland shares his experience about being Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He's got to really explore this character. I mean, this is his 6th time being Peter Parker. But he's saying this movie pushes Peter Parker to lengths and depths that he actually had to find the emotions and that depthness of character that he hasn't reached before in other films. Spider-Man is historically an optimistic character, and the way he has been laid out in the MCU has been this cheery, childlike figure that we have enjoyed and gotten to laugh with. Those movies are like comfort food. They're like the Twinkies and ice cream of the Marvel Universe where you watch them and they're just fun. But Spider-Man No Way Home does not promise this experience. Actually, quite the opposite. What he says here in this article that he recently did interview on, he says, it's not fun. You hear me? It's dark and sad, and it's really affecting. He goes on to say, what happens to Peter and other characters puts them to some of the darkest points they've ever been in their life on the MCU screen. One thing he says that actually will be very gripping is the dissolving relationship between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. So Tony Stark and Spider-Man have this parental father-son figure kind of structure. Doctor Strange would not be taking that role that Tony Stark held. Quite frankly, they were colleagues, somewhat friends, but it seems with their disagreement about how things ought to go, that this will dissolve from any kind of friendship to we don't hate each other, but we sure don't like being around each other. On top of that, he's saying that all the characters in this film are going to be really put through a lot. There's a lot of rumors that we're going to have a kind of a death total by the end of this. Some say Ned, some say Aunt May. I don't know all who could be, maybe even Zendaya. And when you're putting something on a multiversal like caliber spectacle, you imagine that it's not going to be all hunky-dory. This is a massive problem. You break the multiverse, it's a problem, right? And I like that they're doubling down on that. Doc Ock is cool showing up, but it's a freaking problem because everything is blending together. This is Marvel's next venture into this whole new phase. And the multiverse cracking open like it is. Yes, it brings cool possibilities, but it has major ramifications. One that is probably going to ruin Peter Parker's life. He even says in this film, it's like, this is so far the finale of Spider-Man. This is the coup de grace. This is the cherry on top. There's no guarantee that we get more Tom Holland Spider-Man. Now, I think we will, but there's no guarantee. So, coming in this movie, we have a epic, dark, serious, thought-provoking Spider-Man film full of depth and interest. And I'm really looking forward to that. All that being said, what are you guys looking for in Spider-Man No Way Home? Are you getting any more convinced that maybe Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are not in this film? Let me know in the comments below. And to answer our Marvel trivia of the day, the villain that Ned becomes in the comics is the Hobgoblin. That is the rumor that Ned will actually be taking that role at some point in this film. I think that's a bunch of completely nonsense. I don't see it. But anyway, guys, if you like this video and you want to see more, guess what? Like, subscribe, turn on comments, because we're trying to do this content on the regular. And as always, guys, until next time, thanks for watching.